talked to my ex, and he said if I don't stop talking about him on social media and making TikToks, he's going to pursue legal action because he already talked to his lawyer. I've never mentioned his name. There's nothing you can sue me for, to be honest with you. It just goes to show that how easily his feelings got hurt. To be honest with you, if he was on here talking about me, I think I'd laugh. I'm not even joking, because I know the person I am. I'm way stronger than that. That if somebody was on here talking about me, and again, never once mentioned his name. So if he was on here talking about me and never mentioning my name, why would I give a shit? Honestly,
It's called social media therapy. That's what it's called. She's over there having therapy, so her husband should not be bothered by her getting her therapy.
Welcome to the pressure cooker.
Yeah, man. He probably got a right to sue your ass, because you don't.
So for what?
Nah,
She never mentioned his name.
she crazy.
Only he knows she's talking about him.
Yeah, she crazy. Because, man, you sitting up here wasting your time, sitting up here throwing subliminal messages, talking about the man without talking about him. It just go to show you that you still caught up in what y'all had,
Of
or
course, she's
what
still
was
hurt.
going on, and you hurt, and that ain't gonna really do you no good. All you gonna do is invite everybody into your business, and you think they gonna give you some good advice, and probably it ain't gonna help you at all.
She's using social media for her therapy, as a lot of people do. She's on there searching for somebody to make her feel better about the pain that she's going through. Maybe somebody can tell her how to get through it quicker. Maybe somebody can tell her how they dealt with it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with her using it as her therapy. It's a form of therapy. And a lot of people use it. And sometimes it helps people from crashing out. She could be over there doing something to him and whoever he moved on with, but she decided to go to social media and just talk away. Maybe she don't have any close friends. All the friends, you notice now when people are married, their friends sometimes they share the same friends. So when you break up with the person, the friends tend to go to married friends may go with the opposite person. So that leaves you kind of feeling stuck out and by yourself. So she may be in that situation. So she had to go somewhere to find someone to talk to. So she's using
And
social media.
and
She could be the outcast one.
listen, it don't matter if you using his name or not. You can't be online insinuating different things.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be insinuating, and if they can say, okay, there's enough evidence to say you're talking about him. It don't matter if you use his name or not. So I don't know what she talking about or she thinking. Yeah, because you could hinder that man from getting a job. She could be on there sharing medical information about the guy. Perfect example. Remember when Ocho Cinco and his old lady broke up?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how she was insinuating certain things about
Mm-hmm.
him? Stuff like that could get you sued.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And it's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna change the fact of what happened. You exposing him, because a lot of women like to expose you for that. I don't care what you expose me for, whatever.
I think she's just using it for counseling and she's hurting, and clear you can tell that this woman is still hurting behind the life her and this man have. And in any marriage or situation, you don't know what the person is taking as a loss. Just like she could have lost the home, she could have lost the kids. You don't know what the situation is, and people are just looking for answers to deal with their pain. Now, is social media the best way to do it? Probably not. The lady probably needs some counseling. She needs some therapy, to help her get through what she's going through. But it's clear with her laughing and say she wouldn't care what he do. Yeah, she
Yes, she
cares,
would.
because if you didn't
Yeah,
care,
you
you wouldn't
would.
be there talking. And it's just sad that,
Mhm.
she's going through this and there's nobody that she could call to have these conversations with. Or people could just be exhausted at having those conversations with her. And now she's just talking to social media because nobody else wants to hear her woes or cries anymore. You never know why the marriage. She could have been the one who caused the marriage to fail. And because she caused the marriage to fail, nobody wants to hear her crying now. You did this, you cheated on him, and the man knows. And so, so you never know what's the rationale, but it's clearly that she needs someone to talk to.
You know what's crazy? I seen people break up with you and then they go online and talk about you. They break up with you and don't want to be with you no more. They done met a new person, but they online talking bad about you, spreading information about you. And yeah, she gonna sit there and talk about, well, I wouldn't give a shit. Yeah, right up until you share some information that you don't want to be shared. Yeah, you gonna say that. You gonna say, I don't care. Yeah, you sit up here talking.
She probably wouldn't give a shit, because that would mean that she's still relevant to him. Him not responding shows her that she doesn't matter anymore, and that's what bothers her the most, that he's not talking about her.
Yeah, that hurts the most. That hurts the most.
That silence is loud.
But you would care if he shares some information that you didn't want out there. But I definitely agree. He probably ain't paying your crazy ass no attention, and now you mad.
And that silence
you
is
mad.
loud.
And that's why he. And I would assume he probably wanted to leave your ass, get up out of there, and that's why you mad. That's why you mad.
It's a hard blow. It's always very difficult when one person wants to stay in a marriage and the other person doesn't want to be in a marriage. And usually that man has exhausted all measures, because under the contrary, a lot of women are probably going to hate me for saying this, but I'm going to say what's the truth. Men are used to the norm. They don't like change. A man will try to fight for a marriage way longer than a woman. He'll deal with the headaches, the heartaches, what's going on way longer than a woman will, because they just don't want to bear the change. Men like things to stay pretty much routine and in order. Women, we tend to change often. That's why we change our hair, we change our makeup, we change clothes, we change different things all the time. We want new wardrobes, new shoes. That have a million shoes, but we won't make any of those work, because none of those shoes will work because we got a new outfit. That's just the way it is. And men tend to don't want to move.
Nope.
So they will try. So this man probably exhausted all measures to make this marriage work. And whatever it was, he could no longer take it. And this is where she is now.
On here making TikTok videos. Probably got about 15 TikTok videos about.
And he's like, leave me alone. Like, enough is enough. I tried when I was there with you.
To sue.
Yeah, I tried when I was with you, and you're still with this same foolishness. Yeah. So you was doing the foolishness then, and you're doing the foolishness now. And I needed to stop. I'm gonna shut you up since you can't seem to shut up.
Be the main one get on there talking about, oh, he broke, he ain't this, he got small energy, all that old foolishness, man. Cause you hurt.
But most of the time in marriages, unless that man is just a low down cheater, that man will fight for his marriage way longer than
they ain't never experienced that. I've never experienced well, one thing is the breakups has never been where I have just done all kind of crazy stuff to make her do that. Cause I already knew I didn't want to deal with the other part of it. I got too much stuff going on, man. I don't want you coming over there messing with my car. I don't want you showing up over there beating on the door. I don't want you doing all that. So I wasn't one to go down that road. Some guys, they kind of feed into that, and they treat the ball any kind of way. And then when she show up doing some off the wall shit, then they want to be mad and stuff like that. So
crash out behaviors.
Yeah.
Kevin and Caprice.